you feel size was a factor in the main event?
Do I feel size?
Size was a factor.
Size is always a factor when you move up a weight class in this sport.
Especially going, it wasn't going bantamweight to featherweight. You were going middleweight to light heavy, where you got a 20-pound difference. Do you think that showed itself there?
It was definitely a factor. It was, weight was a factor. When you move up a weight class like that, strength is a factor. How hard these guys hit is a factor. And Jan is the real deal. If you look at and think about what you personally and everyone else thought of Israel Adesanya going into this fight, Jan fought a great fight against him. So.
And is he losing? I mean, obviously it kills a number of big fights for you. Do you think it drops him pound for pound, because he was a middleweight? He was number 3 ranked in the division, and pound for pound is, if everybody was the same. He fought somebody who wasn't the same. Do you think he should hold his spot where he was, or do you think because he performed the way he did and judges had it 4 rounds to 1 that maybe he was too hot?
Yeah, I think it definitely. First of all, I think we can all agree, and I'm not defending Israel Adesanya here, that fight wasn't 4-1. That's batshit nuts. If anybody watched that fight and thinks that fight's 4-1, you're nuts. It was even going into the last round. And Israel was winning the first half of the round. Then Jan took him down and won the fight in the second half of the round. The only thing that makes that fight 4-1 are ridiculous 10-8 rounds. I mean, who in this room thinks that fight was 4-1? Anybody? Tell me if you do. No? Yeah, not one person in here. People who watch fights every weekend think that was 4-1. It's a big problem right now with judging that needs to be fixed.
And just to switch to the Sterling fight a second, to me it looked like it was an intentional knee. I know Peter said it was not. What was your thought when you watched it, live? I mean, that's the only way to judge.
Do I think that the knee was intentional?
Yeah.
Yeah, he threw the knee. Yeah, he threw the knee. I mean, he didn't slip and accidentally land the knee.
No, but it was like it's pretty obvious he was down, right? So, I mean, fighters know that's the rule.
Yeah. It was an intentional knee. He got hit with a knee. I saw some guys on the internet saying it didn't even land. Oh, it landed. It landed. I felt it.
But I guess what I was getting at is,
oh my God,
halfway up or something.
Kidding me?
It wasn't like he was halfway up. I mean, he was clearly still down. I mean, so what goes through a guy's mind in a situation like that? I think
that there's a lot of fatigue, frustration. It was a good fight. But the thing is, he was turning it on. He was starting to win the fight. He was starting to absolutely, positively take control of that fight. He was winning. You could see Aljamain Sterling breaking. Why you throw that knee, I couldn't tell you.
And then my last question for you, Dana, is given what Izzy tried to do and was unable to do, does that show just how hard the double champ thing is, and tell you about Amanda, how great she is for being able to do what she's able to do?
100%. The double champ thing, it's like the thing to do right now, but it isn't easy to do. The people who have done it are absolutely positively special. And for somebody like Amanda Nunes, to keep both belts and keep defending both belts at the same time, pretty badass.
So Dana, you mentioned in the past that you saw someone like Max Holloway go up a division and he looked too small for it, and you didn't want to see it again. Do you feel similar to Israel, or could he work his way back up, put on some pounds, and then maybe go to 205 in the future?
Well, think about this. John Jones used to be at that weight class. I mean, John's going to be so much bigger than Israel. I think Israel should focus on middleweight right now. Get back in there and, keep doing what he does in the middleweight division.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.